Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another wonderful week of first grade literacy. This week, we're going to be focusing on poetry. I'm so glad you decided to join us. Come on and let's jump into today's lesson. In today's lesson, boys and girls, you're going to need your pencil, your paper. We will go through the objective that the student will understand the elements of poetry. My name is Mrs. Ward, and I am a kindergarten first grade teacher for HISD. The topic that we will cover today is discuss rhyme, rhythm, repetition, and alliteration in a variety of poems. Come along and join us for today's lesson. Here, boys and girls, is our high frequency words. We're going to read these words, but first I want you to search for the word about, do, and but. We're looking for the word about, do, and but. Do you see the word about? Do you see the word about in this chart? I see the word about. How many times do you see the word about? How many? I can't hear you. You see it 3 times? Let's count and see if that is correct. 1, 2. How many times did we see the word about? 2. The word about was only in the chart 2 times. What about the word do? Do you see the word do? Look at the word do. How do we spell do? D-O. How many times do you see D-O in this chart? I heard 3. Let's count and see if that is correct. 1, 2, 3. Great work. Pump yourself up 2 times. Woo, woo. What about the word but? How do you spell the word but? Look at the word but. Let's spell it. B-U-T. But. How many times do you see the word but in this chart? I heard 3 times. Let's count and see if you are correct, great readers. 1, 2, and 3. So if you said 3, give yourself a pat on the back. Can you help me read all of these high frequency words? I'm going to point to the word. When I point to the word, I want you to say it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's read. About. And. Do. A. But. And. But. Like. May. Do. About. Have. Do. Does. But. Great reading. Today, boys and girls, we're going to be talking about the elements of poetry. When we're talking about the elements of poetry, we mean what are the different parts. All of the parts fit together like a puzzle. They fit together like a puzzle to make a poem. One part of poetry is rhyme. Can you say rhyme? One part of poetry is repetition. Can you say repetition? Repetition. And the other part of poetry is alliteration. Can you say it? Those are some very big words. Today, we're going to be taking a look at what is rhyme, what is repetition, and what is alliteration, and what does it have to do with poetry. Let's get started. This word, boys and girls, is rhythm. What's the word? Rhythm. Rhythm means the words flow to a particular beat. Listen to this poem. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You say it. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Do you hear the beat in this poem or the rhythm? I'm going to tap it, then you clap it. Let's listen again. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You clap it. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Listen. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king horses and all the king men, all the king horses, all the king men, couldn't put Humpty together again. Couldn't put Humpty together again. If you listen, you heard the rhythm. And each line, how many beats did you hear? See if you can count it. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Let's see. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. How many? 4. I heard 4 beats. Let's see if you're correct. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. 4 beats. All the king horses, all the king men, couldn't put Humpty together again. Each line had 4 beats. Those beats represent the rhythm. Many times in poetry, you are going to find rhythm. Another important part of poetry, boys and girls, is rhyme. What's another important part? Rhyme. Rhyme is when the words have the same ending sound, but a different beginning sound, like cat and bat and fat and rat. All of those words are in the at family. They have the same ending sound, but a different beginning sound. Look at this picture. Here is a top. What is it? A top. Top ends with the op sound. Could you good readers help me think of a word that rhymes with top? What word do you know that rhymes with top that ends with the op? Mop. Yes, mop rhymes with top. Mop and top are rhyming words. Can you think of another word that rhymes with top? I'm thinking of something that a bunny does. Hop. Top and hop are rhyming words. What about somebody who can pull you over and give you a ticket? A cop. Good thinking. Top and cop, mop and hop are all rhyming words. Listen to this poem. See if you hear any rhyming words. Are you ready? This poem is called I Love Animals, written by Mrs. Ward. I like the fuzzy white cat. I like the scary black bat. I like the silly, sweet, soft rat. I like them all, but they are all so fat. Did you hear any rhyming words in this poem? What words did you hear that rhyme? Fat and what else? Fat and cat and bat. You didn't hear sat in this word. What's the other word that was rhyming? Rat was the other words. Notice in a poem, boys and girls, all of the rhyming words were found at the end of each line. In this poem, we saw the rhyming words cat, bat, fat, and rat. Here, boys and girls, you see the word alliteration. What's the word? That's a big word. Listen to Miss Ward say it again. Alliteration. What's the word? Alliteration means it's the repetition of a beginning sound in two or more words in the same line. That means you hear the same sound. Listen to the poem again. I Love Animals by Mrs. Ward. I like the fuzzy white cat. I like the scary black bat. I like the silly, sweet, soft rat. I like them all, but they are so fat. Listen to the third line. I said, I like the silly, sweet, soft rat. Did you hear any repeated sounds at the beginning of the words? What sound did you hear? You guessed it. Give yourself 2 snaps. Listen again. I like the silly, sweet, soft rat. Which words had a sound? Soft. And I like the silly, sweet, soft rat. What else had a yes, and silly. What about sweet? Does sweet have a sound? Yes. Alliteration means the word begins with the same sound 2 or more times in the same line. In a poem, boys and girls, they also have lines and stanzas. Poems can have lines and stanzas. Most poems are written in lines. A group of lines in a poem is called a stanza. This poem has one stanza. It has one group of lines. Notice at the end of each line, do you see any periods? No. In this poem, you do not see any periods because you do not have to put periods in a poem because instead of having sentences, it has lines. So it does not require you to have to use punctuation. How many lines do you see in this poem? I like the fuzzy white cat. I like the scary black bat. I like the silly sweet soft rat. I like them all, but they are so fat. Let's count the lines together. Help me count them. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4. How many lines are in this poem? 4. There are 4 lines. This group of lines is called a stanza. What is it called? A stanza. In a story, we have paragraphs, but in poems, we have lines and stanzas. So this poem has 4 lines and only 1 stanza. Give yourself a pat on the back. Let's read this poem together and see if we can find all the different parts we talked about today. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's read. I love summertime fun. I love going for a swim. I love being outside for a run. I love that school is out and I can sleep in. I love the sweet smell of summer and being in the sun. Think about the different parts of a poem we talked about today. One thing we said poems can have is rhythm. Did you hear a rhythm in this poem? Let's see. I love summertime fun. Let's clap it. I love summertime fun. Did you hear the rhythm? I love going for a swim. Let's clap it. I love going for a swim. I love being outside for a run. I love being outside for a run. I love that school is out and I can sleep in. I love that school is out and I can sleep in. I love the sweet smell of summer and being in the sun. I love the sweet smell of summer and being in the sun. Did you hear the rhythm?
Yes.
Yes, rhythm means it flows to a beat. What about rhyme? Did you hear any rhyming words in this poem?
No.
I heard no, but I need you to look really hard, detectives. Miss Ward heard some rhyming words. Look again. Which rhyming words did you see? Run and sun are both in the un family. I saw one more. Fun. Fun and run and sun are rhyming. What about alliteration? We said alliteration means there is two or more words in one line that all start with the same sound. Listen to the last two lines. I love that school is out and I can sleep in. Did you hear two or more words that started with the same sound? I heard the word school. School started with a s, and sleep. Sleep started with a s. Listen to the last line. Come on, good detectives, see if you can find some words that have the same sound. I love the sweet smell of summer and being in the sun. Did you hear the same sound over and over again? I did. I heard the s sound. Which words had the s sound? I love the sweet smell of summer and being in the sun. Yes, sweet has a s. What else? Sun has a s. What? Summer has a s. And one more is smell. Sweet, smell, summer, and sun all have a s. Great work, detectives. Give yourself a firecracker. Shh. Boom. Let's recap. To recap means to review. Let's review, what did we learn today? Today, boys and girls, we talked about what? What did we talk about today? What did we talk about? Poetry. Today we talked about poetry. We said there are different parts to poetry. When poetry goes to a beat, it is called rhythm. What is it called? Rhythm. We said sometimes in poetry the words have the same ending sound but a different beginning, like mat, bat, and hat. What do we call those words? When they have the same ending sound but a different beginning, it is rhyming words. We also talked about repetition. We did not talk too much about repetition. We will go into repetition more on next time. But we did talk about alliteration. Alliteration means when the words, two or more in a line, begin with the same sound. We also talked about poems can have a line or a stanza. So we talked about rhyme, alliteration, lines, rhythm, and stanzas. You guys were a great audience today as we went through talking about poetry. Now it is your turn. I want you to write a poem about a bug. Can you think of some words that rhyme with bug that you might want to use in your poem? What rhymes with bug that ends with a ug? Rug rhymes with bug. What about
Snug.
snug or a
Hug.
hug? Hug, bug, and rug are rhyming words. If you pull on something, you might have to give it a tug. Tug, bug, hug, and rug are rhyming words. When you're writing your poem, boys and girls, I want you to think about making sure your poem has lines. Do we have to use punctuation in a poem? No, we do not have to use punctuation in a poem. Remember that your poem can have rhythm. Rhythm means your poem flows to a beat. Also, think about using alliteration where you have the same sound repeated. I can't wait to hear your great poems about bugs. Be sure to include a picture if you like. Great job tuning in, boys and girls. I enjoyed working with you, and I hope that you tune in again on next week. See you next time, great readers.